Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Mariah Report.
It's me, Martin Burgess.
I'm Dan Enriquez.
And this is a Back in Time.
Yay! We love a back in time.
I know, right?
It's been a minute since we've gone back in time.
Yeah.
But what better time to go back in time
Than right now.
than this time?
So this, So this episode is kind of a little bit of a hot topic of the moment because the new Queen biopic is in theaters.
Yes, and by Queen we mean
Not Mariah.
or Nicki Minaj,
Yeah.
whoever claims to be a queen. We mean the band.
Queen, which I really didn't know much about. I just knew the songs, the hits. I knew Freddie was eccentric and, in the gay world, whatever.
Yeah, that's about all I knew as well.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie was great, but it was centered around their performance at the Live Aid concert.
Yes, in
benefit.
1985?
Something like that. Yeah, which was a big event.
Around the world.
Around the world, raising money for countries in poverty.
Yeah.
No, there's a famine.
I think Ethiopian.
Yes, the famine.
Famine. So they were raising money and awareness for that, and they brought out the big names.
The big names, and it became a thing of whoever's hot and the who's who is performing.
Oh, yeah.
You had to be A-list.
In 1985.
Yeah, to get in. And the funny thing is, Madonna was the youngin' of the time. Everybody wanted to see Madonna perform.
Right.
Anyway, fast forward to 2005, they rebranded it and made the Live 8 concert. It's called Live 8. And Mariah's on the list.
Hello.
So I'm like, oh, yes, who's who?
Who's who? And Madonna performed at the Live 8 as well.
She did.
She sure did. They had, for both of the concerts, they brought out the big guns. And Mariah obviously was riding high at the time because she was Emancipation of Mimi. We Belong Together had already made its big comeback.
Yep.
Helped her have her big comeback.
Yeah. Well, it just happened.
It had just happened, but I think this was July. Yeah. Or June or July, so it was that summer.
Yeah.
And Shake It Off was now coming out. So we were getting it we were in the midst of the whole rollout of this amazing era.
The era.
Yeah. So,
but she knew that concert was so important that she had to go do it.
Oh, yeah, of course. And we know that Mariah is always trying to give, her time, her money, her energy to great organizations. Yeah. And this organization is run by Bob Geldof.
Yes.
He did the original one, and he was also doing the...
this one, the Live 8.
Second one, the Live 8.
It's his thing. People do music festivals, someone owns the festival. It's his festival.
That's how he does it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So where do we want to begin with this? Obviously, a little bit of backstory is the original concert.
Yeah. That
was held. But Queen was became sort of iconic for that concert, right?
Because they were broken up at the time. Then had gotten back together, and and it was one of Freddie Mercury's last performances,
right
before he died.
So it became a big thing, for his legacy. That particular concert, And then fast forwarding 20 years later, to Mariah, I think all of us as lambs remember that as a huge event. Yeah, I remember when it was she was performing, I believe, in London or somewhere in Britain. And I remember being in the U.S. thinking, how am I going to watch this? How am I going to watch this? But because it's so global, it's such a global effort, and they had concerts airing from different countries and different locations. Yeah. They live streamed the whole thing.
On television.
Yes, and online. Because I think I watched mine online.
Yeah, it's a global event.
It is. It's huge. It's huge. I wonder if they'll do another in 20 years after 2005, which would be soon.
2025. That would be soon.
That would be soon. Because, honey, it's right around the corner.
Book Mariah for it.
Yeah, book her for it, for sure. Okay, so Mariah's there. First of all, can we talk about what she's wearing?
Okay, well, at the time, I didn't like it.
Looking back at it now, I'm gagged.
It's so good.
She's gorgeous. Yeah. And so cute and sexy at the same time.
I know, right?
I loved it. At the time, I was oh my God, her hair's not right. Same. But now I look and I'm oh my God, gorgeous.
It's good
and
hair.
Then that dress, I always was
At first I was like, yeah, what is this? It's like crisscrossy up the sides and maybe like jersey material.
Yeah, like a stretch
all black,
jersey.
I kind of like ripped and raggedy looking.
Yeah, but I was like, is she wearing panties? I don't think she's wearing panties.
Because you see the whole side situation.
Whole side.
Yeah,
But with that type of a thing, I'm sure there is an undergarment sewn in.
You can stick things on.
You know what I mean? I'm sure, because she can't go in front of, the whole thing. Now, was she playing Wembley?
Was it Wembley or Hyde Park?
Hyde Park.
Yeah,
Hyde Park. That's where it was. So it was a huge crowd.
Sea of people.
Huge crowd. So she's not going to go up in front of a huge crowd with no panties. So I'm sure they were built in there. But that took me years to figure that out.
Right.
At the time, I was like, I can't believe she's so scandalous.
Yeah.
So scandalous.
I mean, at the time, it was an interesting look for her because we were doing like the high glam. Mm-hmm. And then she came out with this. I was like, interesting. But the heels were good.
Oh, yes, they were.
The Dior heels.
I want to say that the dress she was wearing, because it was big at the time, 2005, Ed Hardy.
Yes. It was an Ed Hardy.
Oh, yes, it was it was.
That's a dated
Remember those
situation.
days?
Yes, those days.
Oh, my gosh, girl. That was the style. That's what the kids were doing.
And Von Dutch hats.
Yes. Oh, my God.
The trucker hats.
That was a fad,
yeah,
for sure. Like when you see, because you don't see that around anywhere now. When you do see like photos or pictures of that, you know what year it is.
Exactly, what year it is.
It goes right back to then.
Isn't that funny?
It is real funny, girl. But she looked great. She looked good at the time. I was just like, whoa.
It was a casual look.
Right?
/ like rock and roll.
Yes. I was going to say with a little bit of an edge to it.
Yeah. Because it's kind of a rock concert.
It really is. Because, okay, so do we know who performed at Live 8 other than Mariah?
Madonna.
Okay, we have Madonna. I know George Michael.
Yeah.
I know.
Probably U2.
U2.
Probably. Again, the who's who at the time.
The who's who. Yeah. The Who probably played.
Sting. Yeah, everyone.
All of those people. Because I didn't have time to look up everyone else. I was concerned about Mariah.
I know. You tuned in for that moment, tuned
right back out. No, actually, I think I remember watching the Madonna, because Madonna had her
Confessions on the Dance Floor.
Yes, which I loved that album.
And she was doing Ray of Light a lot.
Oh,
too.
and we did not. She did something, and she tried to hit a high note.
Oh, Ray of Light.
Ray of Light, and I was like, girl, you should not have done that. You know Mariah's coming up. You should not have done that. That's not right, because that did not sound right, girl. We know you know you can't sing, girl. Why are you trying? We love her, though.
Those were the days she's like a serious musician, Madonna. She's playing guitar and stuff.
All right. Anyway.
But those hung up performances were good.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that was good. I
mean, here we have to go. If we're going back in time, let's sort of set the scene of what the musical scene was for pop, at least. Even though I know we're talking about more of like a rock concert.
Yeah.
But like Mariah and Madonna were going head to head with albums.
Yeah.
Like, Madonna had Hung Up, and Mariah had We Belong Together, Shake It Off.
Yep.
And then Don't Forget About Us. Madonna had Hung Up.
I'm Sorry.
She was, and the tour, they were both touring.
Yeah.
So they were like doing a lot of things, and they performed at the Grammys.
They did.
Remember that?
Remember, because Madonna did the hologram with
the cartoon
the gorillas.
People? Oh, gorillas, yeah.
And that was really good.
Yeah, because it was like cutting edge.
Yeah, but what took me 100 years to realize is that opening scene when she's when they're the hologram, and she's in the screen too.
She's the hologram as well.
It's all hologram.
Yeah, it took me years to realize that as well.
I thought she was like intermingling in real life.
Yeah, no.
It's all
But
hologram.
She was really there, though, right?
They did a cut to over here, and there she was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You
know what I mean?
Because I remember there being a lot of like, oh, who's going to open the Grammys, Madonna or Mariah, Madonna or Mariah? And Madonna opened the Grammys.
She did.
But you know who stole the show? Was Mariah.
Yeah.
We Belong Together. / Fly Like a Bird.
I just watched that the other day.
Oh, I watched that on a weekly basis. Don't even get me started. Are you kidding me? It's so good.
She killed it with that.
Honey, what did Terry Hatcher say? I know we covered this in a Back in Time. Yes, we've all been saved. We do have a Back in Time on the Grammys.
Oh, do we?
Performance.
Yes, we should do one of that.
So this doesn't have to be that, because this is Live 8.
I have to go back and listen.
It's a good one, girl. I think we did a watch along as well.
We did. Now I remember.
We did. Yeah. Honey, when you're coming up on 200 episodes, you forget.
Yes. We need someone to
forgive us.
Catalog our work.
All right. So.
All right, back to Live 8.
Let's talk about Mariah's set list. Now, she came on like early in the nighttime.
Yeah, I feel like the sun was just going down.
Right. So it was perfect timing. It wasn't too early for her. It wasn't too late.
And again, the purpose of these concerts are to raise money for kids in poverty or just people in poverty in general. So she comes out with a little choir of like African children, which was so cute.
Oh, my God. So adorable.
And they obviously like rehearsed and like were in on it. They weren't just standing there. They were part of it.
they had choreography. They knew the words. They knew what was happening.
It was good. So she started with "Make It Happen," right?
Yeah,
she did.
Yes, she did. "Make It Happen,"
which is a perfect song for that situation because it's all about raising money, doing stuff.
First of all, it's one of my favorite Mariah songs.
Yes.
Not more than 3 short years ago.
This performance, when you go back and look at it, and like the voice, the growls, the stage running, it is running very on point with Divas Live 98.
Yes, totally is.
It is. It is so good.
But you know, like this was a serious music event. She wasn't playing around. She gave us all raw vocals.
Yes, she did. Oh my God, it was good. So good.
Yeah,
it was so good.
I got my feet on solid ground. Thank you, Lord. Oh, yeah. If you believe within your soul, just hold on tight and don't let go. You can make it happen. Don't ever, ever let go. Don't let go. Don't ever, ever let go. Let me see your hand. It's a children's choir of African people. Put your hands up.
I could watch that. You know, sometimes you forget about Live 8.
You forget all about it, but it's so good.
When you go back and you're like, oh my God, how many times has that happened to us, Martin? There's so much to go back on and look at. And then like in the moment you're thinking, oh yeah, that Live 8 performance, that was good. Sure. When you go back, you're like, oh no, bitch. Yeah. Oh hell no. She came that way. She did that thing.
Yeah.
So that Make It Happen performance is one of her more legendary performances. I think, maybe not the best vocally, even though I love the rawness of her voice and like the growly and everything. But because of her stage presence and her energy, she came out big. She came out with, like, she knew, like, she's playing for that could have maybe been her biggest crowd she's ever played
for. It's enormous.
So she knew, like, her energy had to match what their energy was.
Yeah.
Just hitting the stage. And she delivered it.
But even, like, be rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. Like, boom. Like,
bring it.
You know?
Yeah.
So I loved that.
Yeah.
That was, like, what I noticed right away. You notice, like, as soon as she steps out, she's on.
Yep.
It was like there's no walking up, to the center of the stage and then starting. Like, she started the second she stepped out.
Yeah.
And she had great moments, beautiful moments.
Good growls.
Everything was great.
Yeah.
I loved the whole thing. One of my other favorite times in this thing that I remember is when Mariah screams to the public or to the audience, "Come on, guys! It's a children's choir from Africa. Come on!"
Yeah, I know.
I think she says it a couple times just to let people know, because I feel like they might be thinking like,
"Who are these
kids doing up here?"
But she's like, "They're from Africa.
Come on!" It's so funny.
These are real kids.
She was excited. Like that was so perfect for her. To bring them out, because of all the people, like, here's the thing, Mariah has intent behind what she's doing. She's like, okay, I'm going to go and support this cause for the famine, in Africa. Or Ethiopia, wherever, it's probably spread all over. But she's like, I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more than just show up. I'm going to bring you, and I'm going to use, the people from there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to,
Here's why we should help people have talent too.
Exactly.
Just like you.
So here it is. Like she's putting it in the forefront that it's more than just about her, which she has done on multiple occasions, most often with charities and things that she works, like when she did the American Music Awards 2000 and she brought the Make-A-Wish kids. Because in that speech, she says, it's not about my accomplishments. Like, yes, this is great and whatever, but like, what about these kids and their accomplishments? And this choir, the boys or the children's choir from Africa. I mean, come on. What about them? You have to think about them, and you have to see it.
Yes.
In order to think about it.
To make it real.
So I loved that.
Yeah.
It was the perfect thing to do. And that's why Mariah is Mariah.
Yeah.
Because she thinks like that.
I know, right?
Like Madonna coming up there just trying to howl or something.
Although Madonna does her bit with her kids' hospital in Malawi.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. I'm just kidding. I love everybody. Okay, so Make It Happen was a complete success.
Huge
success.
Then
we have Hero.
Which was a really good Hero.
So beautiful, so strong.
And again, the crowd was into it.
Yep. She only did 3 songs.
Yeah.
Make It Happen, Hero, and We Belong Together. And those were the perfect 3 songs.
Yes.
Right?
Because it's the 2 inspirational, the Make It Happen. We've got the super inspirational Hero that everybody knows.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah. And then just throw in the quick promo because everyone loves that song too now.
Right. Because everyone loves it. We Belong Together.
We're not mad at that.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So back to Hero, and then we'll talk about We Belong Together.
Yeah.
Hero was so beautiful. Like, you could tell that, like, she was a little out of breath from the first performance.
Yeah.
But she swung it on home.
Yeah.
All the way through.
All the way.
Just her with the mic.
Singing to the crowd.
To 100,000 people plus. I forget how many people were there, but it was huge. To sing a ballad like that is risky for such a huge crowd.
Because you got to keep the energy going.
Especially after Make It Happen. So it was risky for her to do that, but because her voice was so beautiful and everyone knows that song, she didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Well, it's one of those safe songs that everybody else knows it. Whether they've just been brainwashed because they play it at the mall all the time. Everybody knows the lyrics to Hero, no matter what.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
For that situation. Because it wasn't like a room of lambs or Mariah fans. It was random people all over the place. So perfect song choice.
Perfect song choice.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong with a good Hero. You really can't.
Nah.
We have a Back in Time on Hero as well, which is one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
Now that we did that Back in Time.
We talked ourselves
into re-loving it because I thought it was so played out because everyone sings it at their graduation. And Mariah's constantly singing it because she has to.
Yeah.
But when you really get deep down into it, Hero is for so many different reasons and for so many different occasions, the perfect song.
Yeah.
Now, we move on to her hit of the moment in 2005.
Because it was hitting at the time.
It was.
Around the world.
Around the world.
Big.
To the point, it was so big that Victoria Beckham
was lip-syncing
for her life as she does with her hot-ass husband, David Beckham, up there in the audience.
Yes.
And that's when you know that you have reached all households.
Yes.
Baby, we belong together, baby. Why can't love our love so hard on me? It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please. 'Cause we belong together. I'm gonna lean on when times get rough. Who's gonna talk to me till the sun comes up? Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody better. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together.
So that that I think was whoever got that shot was thinking, because that's an iconic sort of like Mariah nuance moment that only us lambs still remember. But it was amazing because, you know, Spice Girls. Duh.
She's in England.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's Mariah, like, literally, like, showing how global she is.
Yeah.
You know, because not everyone can have such a impactful song around the globe. Even just with Hero, let alone we got We Belong Together, which is now obviously a global hit.
And in those days, Beckham, Victoria, and David were mega stars.
I mean, they still are, but like back then they were like the hot couple.
Yeah.
Now they're like the parents with like teenage kids.
The kids are all grown up now.
I know, right? Well, they still got that little one, the girl.
They do.
She's like, but she's, you know, she's walking, she's talking, she's eating cookies.
Yeah, but they're having this major moment back then.
Yeah. They were big. They were very big.
Because wasn't he coming to America to do Galaxy?
To do the football? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Girl, I couldn't tell you anything about him.
All of a sudden, mega stars.
Yeah. So to have them, first of all, it was almost like, okay, so Victoria and David were obviously like in some sort of VIP box or something. And she was like, he had his arms around her and they were swaying. It reminds me of the Adventures of Mimi tour.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. That's exactly what it was. To see Victoria Beckham and David doing that, and Posh Spice, who is so like prim, proper, and put together, is sort of funny when you think about it. But it was amazing.
I know. Iconic moment.
Okay, so to Mariah's performance, she did not do a costume change. She's the same thing for these 3 songs, but that's okay.
Oh, fine.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful rendition.
Effective.
She did it perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else to say about that. It's like, what could she have done better? What could she have screwed up? I mean, it was perfect.
No, it was good. It wasn't like one of my wow performances of the song. I have like other favorites on the list.
Oh, right. Of course.
But it's solid and good.
Yeah. And that's all. With that song at that time, that's all you needed. Solid.
Yeah.
She didn't need to do or add anything extra. She didn't have to, you know, try to like switch it up a little bit to, you know, remind people or give something. She could just go and do it straightforward.
Yeah. It was good.
It was so good.
See, that would have been like, if you weren't really a Mariah fan, just that quick set list alone, boom. You're like, oh, she's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm into this.
Ooh, I love that Make It Happen, though. I think of the 3 performances, Make It Happen
it's the standout.
I think
she's doing that big clapping.
Oh my God, yes.
Full arm claps.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. It's just stomping. Stomping.
Growling and stomping.
Growling and stomping. Stomping and growling. I love it. I absolutely do. So that pretty much covers her quick set list. Most people did 3 to 4 songs.
Yeah. Well, I think there's more performers, so you got to just keep it moving.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, someone's coming on right after. Someone came on right before. I think Robbie Williams actually came on after her.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Yeah, probably. He was big at the time too.
Yeah,
Huge.
he was. Okay, but the one thing that we have to end on is, even though Make It Happen is a standout moment for me, one of the other subtle little things that I absolutely love from this concert that I could watch, even though it's probably only 10 to 15 seconds long, is at the end, Paul McCartney did his set list. And he did a duet with George Michael. He did, you know, some of his songs that I don't know. But the song Hey Jude is what closed that portion.
Right.
And he brought everyone who performed that night out on the stage.
Yeah.
So you got this person, that person, Sting.
The group song they always do.
You know, a group song.
Yeah.
And Mariah's there with the African Children's Choir. She brings them out too. She brought them.
That's her crew.
She brought them. Yeah. Those are her people. So they were taking part in it too. George Michael, everybody was there. They sang Hey Jude. And you can see Mariah's like, you know, having fun with the kids. She's singing along. She is standing next to Paul McCartney. And Paul McCartney at one point whispers in her ear what seems to be something along the lines of, show them what you got. Why don't you give them something?
Give me the best of you.
Something like that, right? And Mariah takes the mic, but here's the thing, the crazy thing that drives me crazy is the camera pulls away from her as soon as she starts singing. So like, unless you're a earologist like we are with Mariah, you'd be like, oh, where's that coming from? People might not know that it's Mariah. She's singing Hey Jude in a new melody on top of what everyone else is doing. It is the most magical thing.
Adding her layer,
her take on it, and making the song her own for those 15 seconds that no one else on the spur of the moment would have ever been able to do. So that right there wraps up the whole thing. Mariah stole the show.
Yeah. Talk about that once? He talks about that moment.
I think he does.
We should find that.
Yeah, we will look into it. But like her voice is so good, and the way that she instinctively changes that melody. Floored. I was floored.
Yeah. Those
are the moments of Mariah that like last a lifetime for me. I never get tired of it.
It's like what did they sing at the end of the 9/11 tribute, the group song? Was it America the Beautiful?
Was it?
One of those songs.
I forget. Was it a Stevie Wonder song?
Oh, was it Stevie Wonder? Where she just adds her high notes?
Oh, yeah. She's just sitting there high noting it out right next to Holly Berry.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, oh, there she goes. And, you know, some people would think like that's her showing off, but it's not. That's what she does. She hears things differently. That's why she's such a musical genius. And she can change things up instantly without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just natural to her.
Yeah.
And people, you know, nobody can do that. Who can do that? Anyways, so, Lambs, if you have not gone back and revisited Live 8.
Yeah, LIVE number 8.
Why do they call it Live 8? Do we know that?
Because it was coinciding with the G8 summit.
Summit, yes.
The financial situation.
That's right.
That nonsense.
That's right. Okay, so go back. You can YouTube it.
It's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. You get all kinds of great moments.
She does some interviews too, real quick.
Yeah, she sure does.
She's good.
She was out. She was promoting the whole thing because she was also over there in London doing press for the album as well.
Yeah.
So she was doing MTV. She was doing this. She was doing that. She was on a huge promotional tour.
Yeah.
Not only just for this performance, but also for the album.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of great news interview clips throughout all this time. But so I think this is great. You need to go back, revisit it, relive it, and let us know what you think about it.
Get into it.
Get into it, guys. And don't forget to share us with your friends. Rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes.
Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Mariah Report.
And we will be back with another Back in Time very soon.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.